My name is Donna Linder. I'm the Executive Director of Childfind of America. We're the nation's oldest missing and exploited children's organization. And on a day-to-day basis, I never know what I'm going to do. My primary responsibilities is to oversee the staff who deliver our direct services. We provide several direct services. Primarily we search for missing children, but we do it all online and by telephone. We provide also a preventative program which is called Parent Help. We know that most missing kids are runaways, and most runaways are running away from family discord. They're not running to anything in particular, but they're trying to run away. And we also know that most abductions are not committed by strangers. As horrific as stranger abduction is, there are about 100, 120 of those each year. But there are over 300,000 family abductions by parents involved in nasty divorce, custody battles, and arguments over values and raising children and interpersonal stuff. And we know that if we talk to those people before the issues really explode, we can prevent a lot of hurt and anger and danger that kids are in when they're abducted by a parent. Parent Help was an outgrowth of our Child Abduction Prevention and Support Services program. When I first got here in 1996, we had a mediation program where we thought that people who had abducted a child would see the error of their ways and if given the proper vehicle, they would call and return the child, no questions asked. Nobody ever called, and we had a big advertising council campaign. We had all sorts of supports. The grant that we did it with was through the Office of Juvenile Justice. Nobody ever called to say, I've abducted my child, I want to bring him back. But what did happen was that we had calls from parents who were afraid that their child was going to be abducted. We had calls from parents who wanted to abduct their child and wanted to know how to do it. So people were calling us with the services, telling us what services they need, and we weren't providing them. So we adjusted our mediation program to be, let's see if we can get to the issue before it becomes a child abduction. And we were chugging along doing that fine, and then in 2006 the National Responsible Fatherhood and Healthy Marriage Grants came out. And in reading that proposal, that RFP, I thought, we're doing this already. We're doing this service already, and maybe we can get some funding for it. While we know that moms abduct as much as dads do, it's equal, we do know that there's always a dad involved in this kind of stuff, and thought maybe we could bring our telephone-based services to the issue of parental child abduction. I was fortunate to make the right call. I called New York State and got their Office of Child Support, because we knew that a lot of the abductions had to do with custody, denied visitation, and non-payment of child support. So we got in touch with New York State, and at the time Kenny Braswell was working for them, and the child support folks put me in touch with Kenny's Fatherhood initiative, and the rest is history. They come with a wide range of issues, but they all center around wanting to be in the life of their kids, and it's not possible for a variety of reasons. Sometimes the reasons are justified. Sometimes they have court orders against because of violent actions in the past, and there's really not a lot that we can do for them except for maybe help guide them through the court system and see if they can get some other court remedy for it. But we can also give them some supports, emotional, social supports, to be able to deal with the fact that they can't. But a lot of the dads can, and a lot of the dads are being denied access to their kids illegally. Mom says, well, you're not paying child support, so why should I let you see my child? Legally, one has nothing to do with the other because they're both adjudicated under separate systems, which is a shame that they're not put together and that they're not looking at the whole family and the whole father and the whole mother and the needs of the kids when they're adjudicating this stuff. So what we'll do is if dad calls and there's no reason why he can't have contact and he's being denied access to his child, we will, by phone, reach out to mom and start to see if we can open up the lines of communication so that dad can at least maybe start talking to the child. But when we do that, we also find out there are sometimes other reasons why dad has not been able to see the child or why mom is not allowing dad access. Sometimes mom's got a new boyfriend and the new boyfriend doesn't want original dad in mom's life, and nobody's thinking about the kid. Nobody's thinking about the kid. And so what we try to do is in any of these situations get both parents to think about the impact of the stress on the child. We just believe our basic premise is that all kids have the right to know and love and to be loved by both parents. Parent Help is a totally telephone-based service, and we engage parents through advertising. We're online, through child support systems, through court systems, through the National Responsible Fatherhood Clearinghouse, and through other fatherhood programs around the country. We make sure that they know our services are available to dads who are in trouble. A dad picks up the phone and calls us and presents with all sorts of things. A lot of times it's just, he wants to see his kid, or his child support payment is too high, or he can't find work, or he can't get off work to see his kid, and mom's schedule is such that she won't adjust hers and he can't adjust his, all sorts of issues like that. And we, through really detailed, long interview process, try to figure out what's important to that father, what his real needs are, because sometimes the presenting problem is so different than the real problem. The presenting problem is, oh, I can't see my kid, or oh, my child support is too high. But underlying, there are reasons why those things have happened, and we help the dad kind of focus on what it is that they really want, how to get to do it, and have the outcomes be healthy for everybody involved. A lot of times we end up, the initial phone call, dad's crying because nobody's ever talked to him about these things. Nobody's ever asked him, what's going on in your life? Why is this not, what happened? And they get to tell their stories to us. And dads don't do that. They don't do that a lot of times with each other. And I think because it's by telephone, it's so much easier for them to talk about what's going on in their gut, what's going on in their lives, when they don't see somebody across the desk or whatever. Now, we've had dads curse at us and hang up, but they call back. And it's safe. The telephone intervention is very, very safe because they can curse, they can get angry, and we're not going to report them. We're not going to hang up on them. They hang up on us, and then 9 times out of 10 they'll call back and say, apologize for getting angry, and say, no, really, I need to figure this out. So we help them negotiate those systems that are out there that they need to negotiate to get to where they want to go. We can't fix the problem. They've got to do the work, but they don't know how. And that's I think our best service is we help them negotiate the systems to get to where they want to be, to understand where they are and what they have to do and why things are the way they are. And we've got a fairly decent success rate, about an 80% success rate of reconnecting families and reconnecting dads with their kids, so that from the very least they have some phone calls and letter writing to some of these dads end up getting custody back. We've had one case that was so horrific. This dad and mom were separated, and he had a fine relationship with mom and the kid, but he had, mom died and he had a heart attack, 2 separate incidents, and the child was placed in social services. And when he got out of the hospital, he really wanted to find out what happened to his child, where his child was. And social services in the state that he was in was not really, first of all, we had to find her, and we did. And then we started that relationship with him, with social services, and he was having a home visit, and he really wanted to pass the home visit so that he could get custody back of his daughter, and he didn't have a refrigerator, and he knew that if he didn't have a refrigerator, they weren't going to let his daughter come there. And we got in touch with a local agency that was able to provide him with a refrigerator, and he got his child back, and we've got great reunion pictures. We've got great pictures of him braiding her hair and taking her to school, and they're still together and a happy family.